morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about two forces that shape the course of every human life: will and desire. These are not just words. They are the twin engines that propel us toward our dreams or pull us into despair if left unchecked. Will is the fire that keeps burning when the path is dark. Desire is the spark that starts the fire in the first place. Together they are the driving force behind every success story, every breakthrough, and every transformation in human history. Desire is the initial force that awakens our inner world and gives birth to ambition. It is the intangible yet powerful feeling that arises when we yearn for something greater than our current state. Desire can take many forms: the desire to achieve success, to help others, to explore, to create, or simply to improve oneself. It is this feeling that stirs within us and causes a shift in our thinking, motivating us to envision possibilities beyond our circumstances. Without desire, there is no motivation to step out of comfort zones or pursue excellence. It is the starting point of every dream and the seed from which all goals grow. This inner spark of desire often begins quietly. It may start as a small thought, a moment of inspiration, or a fleeting vision of what could be. But with time and attention, it intensifies, becoming a force that drives decision-seeking and influences behavior. A student may suddenly feel the desire to master a subject, not out of obligation, but because they see its value in building their future. An artist may feel a deep yearning to express their soul through colors and shapes. These desires are not taught, they emerge naturally from the core of our being, triggered by curiosity, passion, and purpose. Desire also helps us form our identity. The things we long for often reflect who we truly are and what we value most. A person who desires justice may pursue law or activism. Someone who desires innovation might become an inventor or entrepreneur. In this way, desire not only propels us forward but also helps clarify our direction in life. It draws a line between what we tolerate and what we aim for, pushing us to chase experiences that bring fulfillment and avoid those that lead to stagnation. Thus, desire doesn't just spark ambition, it gives shape and substance to it. Moreover, desire provides emotional energy that sustains us through uncertainty. The path toward any meaningful achievement is rarely straight or smooth, and it's desire that reminds us why we began the journey in the first place. It becomes the emotional anchor in times of doubt, reigniting our determination when obstacles arise. While skills and plans are necessary, it is desire that keeps the flame alive. Even the most detailed strategy would collapse without the strong inner pull of desire fueling every step forward. It is this compelling inner vision, this restless hunger to become more, that makes desire the true spark of ambition. Willpower is the inner strength that empowers individuals to continue striving toward their goals, even in the face of adversity. It is not a fleeting emotion or temporary motivation, but a consistent force that sustains effort over time. When initial enthusiasm fades and challenges begin to mount, willpower becomes the deciding factor that determines whether we give up or keep pushing forward. It transforms wishful thinking into deliberate action and provides the determination needed to overcome both external and internal resistance. Without willpower, even the most exciting dreams are likely to remain unrealized, because the journey from desire to achievement is often long and difficult. The real test of willpower begins when obstacles appear, as they inevitably do. In moments of failure, disappointment, or exhaustion, Willpower acts as the inner voice that says, keep going. It is the silent, resilient force that strengthens our resolve when things become uncomfortable or uncertain. Many people abandon their goals at the first sign of hardship, not because they lack talent or resources, but because they lack the mental stamina to persist. Willpower gives us the capacity to stay the course. Even when progress is slow or invisible, that true willpower lives. It's the deepest secret in concealment and reveal. Hemigdono. Another critical aspect of willpower is its ability to help us resist distractions and short-term temptations that can derail our long-term goals. Willpower is the mechanism that helps us say no to what we want to experience and yes to what's necessary. I say this but many times. Willpower is the mechanism that helps us say no to what's easy and yes to what's necessary. Whether it's studying instead of scrolling, training instead of resting, or speaking up instead of staying silent. Willpower supports the daily choices that define our character and shape our future. Willpower also contributes to personal growth and transformation by encouraging us to embrace discomfort for the sake of progress. Every time we push ourselves beyond our perceived limits, our willpower grows stronger. The strength accumulates over time, like a muscle being exercised through repetition. With each act of persistence, we build a greater capacity for endurance. This is why highly successful individuals often seem to possess an unwavering drive. They've nurtured their willpower through years of consistent effort. Their success is not accidental, but forged through repeated moments of choosing persistence over ease, effort over excuse. Desire, while powerful and inspiring, is not sufficient on its own to bring about success or meaningful change. It is the starting point, the emotional and mental longing for something better, but by itself it cannot move mountains. Too many people are trapped in the illusion that wanting something badly enough is all that matters. They mistake passion for progress and dreams for action. However, the harsh reality is that countless desires fade away every day, simply because they are never followed by deliberate effort. Desire sets the direction, but without movement, that direction leads nowhere. It is not the intensity of wanting, but the discipline to act that creates results. When desire is not backed by commitment, it remains a fantasy. Ambition without those goals, experience 0-185 descent, is what gives life to desire. It is what translates into a tangible outcome. Without this conversion from thought to behavior, the most passionate desires will gradually lose their energy, eventually becoming sources of frustration rather than motivation. In many cases, desire can actually be misleading when it is not grounded in willpower or practical steps. It can create a false sense of achievement simply because it feels good to want something. People may feel satisfied imagining their success without doing the work to earn it. This comfort in fantasy can become a trap, making people more attached to the idea of achievement than the process it requires. The distance between desire and reality grows wider the longer it is left unsupported by action. Over time, this gap fosters feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and disappointment, turning once powerful dreams into burdens of regret. Furthermore, relying solely on desire can lead to emotional burnout. When a person is constantly longing for a better life without seeing any progress, the emotional weight becomes exhausting. Desire without discipline eventually turns into desperation. That's why it's essential to channel desire into a system of consistent effort and daily actions. Real success comes from bridging the gap between wanting and doing. From converting inspiration into persistence. Desire might get you started, but only structure, resilience, and execution will carry you forward. It's not about how badly you want something. It's about how committed you are to working for it. Will is the catalyst that converts vague hopes into tangible accomplishments. While dreams may originate in the heart and imagination, it is the will that breathes life into them through deliberate, sustained effort. No matter how grand or noble a dream may be, it remains intangible until one takes the difficult, often repetitive steps toward achieving it. The person who merely dreams is a visionary, but the one who acts with will becomes a doer. It is this inner drive, the refusal to give up, the resolve to try again after each failure, that turns ideas into achievements. Will does not rely on external validation. It is internally fueled and self-propelling. The transformational power of will becomes most evident in moments of struggle. When faced with rejection, obstacles, or overwhelming odds, most people retreat or abandon their dreams. But those driven by will persist. They view hardship not as a dead end but as a stepping stone. They continue working even when results are invisible, progress is slow, and recognition is absent. These are the people who succeed not because the path was easy, but because their will was stronger than the difficulties they encountered. Will equips them with mental endurance, a determination that says, I will no matter what. Will also brings clarity and direction to the pursuit of dreams. Without it, one may be pulled in multiple directions, chasing short-term pleasures or getting distracted by the opinions of others. But a strong will focuses the mind and anchors the spirit. It prioritizes effort, sets routines, and builds habit that slowly chip away at big goals. This consistent effort over time bridges the gap between what one desires and what one becomes. With willpower, dreams no longer float in the distance. They are drawn closer through steady action and unwavering commitment. Moreover, will instills a sense of ownership in the dreamer. Instead of waiting for ideal circumstances or blaming external factors, a person led by will takes full responsibility for their journey. They stop saying, I wish, and start declaring, I will. This shift in mindset changes everything. Suddenly, success is no longer seen as luck or fate, but as a result of persistence and choice. Will gives us the power to shape our destiny rather than accept it passively. In doing so, it transforms not only our dreams but also our identity, turning us from hopeful dreamers into determined achievers. Will and desire are two sides of the same coin, each incomplete without the other. Desire provides the inspiration, the emotional force that pushes us to imagine something better, while will supplies the structure and strength to pursue it. When these two forces are aligned, they create a powerful synergy that can overcome nearly any obstacle. Desire alone creates vision, but it lacks endurance. Will alone offers endurance, but without direction, it may lead to empty persistence. Only when will and desire work in harmony can one make meaningful progress toward personal goals, turning abstract longing into measurable results. Imagine a person filled with immense desire but lacking the will to act. Their mind may be bursting with ideas, dreams, and ambitions, but without the determination to follow through, all that potential remains locked within. On the other hand, consider someone with great willpower but no desire. They may be incredibly disciplined and hardworking, but without a guiding passion or meaningful goal, their efforts may feel hollow or misdirected. In both cases, there is an imbalance. True achievement arises when desire sets the goal and will fuels the journey. One ignites, the other sustains. This balanced relationship is also essential for navigating the ups and downs of any long-term endeavor. Desire fuels the beginning. It gives us the reason to start. But as challenges emerge, doubt creeps in, and the initial spark begins to fade. That's where will steps in to keep us going. At the same time, will must continue to be renewed and refueled by desire. If the passion behind our efforts disappears completely, our actions may become robotic or roilless. Thus, desire keeps us emotionally engaged, while will keeps us physically and mentally committed. The back and forth support between these forces creates a rhythm that helps us endure longer and push further. Moreover, the combination of will and desire provides balance between emotion and discipline. Desire helps us dream big, while will helps us act consistently. This duality is crucial because emotional highs from desire are temporary, they come and go. But willpower creates sustainability. However, sustained effort without passion can feel burdensome. When both work in tandem, the journey becomes meaningful and achievable. One brings intensity, the other brings stability. Two powerful forces driving toward a single unified purpose. Willpower is often misunderstood as an inborn trait, something a person either possesses or lacks by nature. But in reality, will is not a fixed characteristic. It is a skill that can be developed, strengthened, and refined over time. Just like muscles in the body, willpower grows through repetition, discipline, and intentional effort. People who appear highly self-disciplined did not arrive there overnight. They cultivated their inner strength through countless choices, many of them small and seemingly insignificant at the time. Each time they resisted temptation, stayed committed to a task, or followed through on a promise, they added another layer to their inner resolve. The building of will starts with consistency in small actions. Simple routines like waking up early, sticking to a study schedule, or limiting distractions may seem minor, but they are the building blocks of greater self-control. Over time, these actions accumulate and form habits, which in turn form character. Will is not about making one grand decision in a moment of crisis. It's about making 100 small decisions when no one is watching. It is this daily practice of choosing discipline over comfort that strengthens the will, slowly but surely. Moreover, will is shaped by our environment, mindset, and attitude toward challenge. People who embrace struggle as a part of growth naturally develop more resilience and determination. Each time they step outside their comfort zone, they reinforce the belief that they can overcome obstacles. This belief is crucial to strengthening willpower. If one believes that will is limited or predetermined, they are less likely to test their limits. But those who view it as flexible and expendable are more willing to engage in challenges, endure discomfort, and bounce back from setbacks, all of which are essential exercises in building inner strength. Even failures play an important role in the development of will. Every time we fall short but choose to try again, our will becomes more robust. Failure tests our commitment and asks whether we are serious about our goals. The person who stands back up after being knocked down, who recommits to the journey after facing defeat, demonstrates a will that is actively being forged in the fires of adversity. In this way, setbacks are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for growth. Will is not something we wait to discover within ourselves. It is something we actively shape, nurture, and strengthen with every decision we make. True success is never the result of a single quality or fleeting moment of effort. It is the culmination of consistent action, emotional commitment, and unwavering focus, all of which stem from the powerful combination of will and desire. Many people are taught to believe that talent or luck defines success, but in reality it is the harmony between wanting something deeply and working tirelessly for it that paves the way. Desire sets the goalpost, the vision of where one wants to be. Will, on the other hand, builds the bridge to get there. Without one or the other, the journey becomes incomplete, either lacking direction or lacking drive. People who achieve great things are rarely the ones who simply wished for success. Interests are inevitable, and that dreams will often be tested. When this happens, desire provides the reminder of why the goal matters, and willpower pushes them to keep moving forward despite fatigue, setbacks, or discouragement. It is in this dynamic relationship between emotional investment and mental resilience that real success is born. This balance is evident in all areas of achievement, from athletes and entrepreneurs to artists and scholars. The athlete may deeply desire a championship title, but without rigorous training and relentless practice, that dream remains distant. The artists may long to express their vision, but without countless hours of refining their skill, the masterpiece is never realized. Similarly, a student may dream of academic excellence, but unless they study with discipline and consistency, their desire will not translate into results. Success is therefore never accidental. It is the intentional merging of desire's inspiration and will's execution that leads to lasting accomplishment. Moreover, the journey of success is often filled with moments that test our faith in our dreams. It is in these moments, when doubts creep in and the world seems indifferent, that the true importance of having both desire and will becomes clear. Desire alone may not be strong enough to overcome fear, and will alone may grow brittle without purpose. Together, however, they create a balance that is emotionally fueled and mentally grounded. The heart wants, the mind commits, and the body follows. This is the formula behind all meaningful achievement, a perfect blend of what moves us and what strengthens us, working side by side on the road to success. In the end, the journey of life is shaped by the depth of our desires and the strength of our will. It is not enough to dream. We must also act, persist, and endure. When desire burns bright and will stands firm, there is no goal too distant, no challenge too great. The most extraordinary accomplishments are not born from luck or chance, but from a passionate heart guided by unwavering determination. So nurture your desires and build your will, for together they are the force that turns your vision into reality and your efforts into lasting success.